Under the blinding stage lights, Jinu, my boyfriend, stood tall, looking like a total snack, with his megawatt smile and his eyes sparkling. And his hand was the ultimate flex, a gold trophy shining brighter than my future. The crowd was totally lit, cheering their lungs out. Backstage, I was hiding in the wings, my heart pounding like a bass drop at Coachella. The moment he'd grab my hand, walk out into the spotlight, and say to
the person who's always been by my side, the one I love the most.
He glanced my way, his gaze locking with mine for a split second.
Thank you, Kate.
Wait, what? That's not my name. Did I just get ratioed in real life? Hey there, I'm Rumi, 19 years old. Crazy, right? Just a regular girl somehow dating a famous actor. If you're curious how I got here, please like and subscribe. Honestly, I've been crushing on Jinu since high school. Back then though, he and Kate were the ultimate IT couple, total goals. And I was just the invisible girl in the back, low-key, fangirling over him. But plot twist, when I applied to work at an entertainment company, I landed the gig as his manager. No cap, I was over the moon. Over time, our strictly professional relationship evolved into something more. The only catch, his career wasn't stable yet, so we had to keep our relationship on the down low.
Rumi, once I win the Best Actor award, I'll make us official.
That was the dream we were chasing together. Sure, dating in secret had its challenges, but feeling found ways to make it work. He was the king of surprises, always pulling off sweet little gestures to make me smile. What are you doing here? Aren't you scared someone will see us?
I'm more scared of you being upset.
We had a few close calls that nearly gave us heart attacks, but honestly, Jinu was a total goat when it came to being a boyfriend. Then one day, the director called us in for a meeting about Jinu's new movie. That's when I learned they'd replaced the lead actress at the last minute. With filming about to start, this last-second switch was giving major chaos vibes.
Wait, wasn't Mira already confirmed as the lead?
Yeah, about that. Mira's dealing with some health stuff, so she had to back out. But don't worry, we've got someone super promising lined up. She's a rising star, and we're putting all our PR muscle behind her. Oh, here she comes.
I turned toward the door and felt like I'd been hit with a plot twist straight out of a Netflix drama. It was Kate.
This is Kate, the new female lead. Kate, meet Jinu. You two are going to spend a lot of time together, so get comfy.
Oh, we've met before. Working together will be a breeze. Right, Jinu?
Her sudden appearance was giving me bad vibes. I could only hope this project would wrap up quickly and without drama. On the ride home, my brain was stuck, replaying the Kate situation on a loop. Jinu had to shake me out of my thoughts.
What's up? I've been calling your name for ages.
Oh, it's nothing.
If you're worried about Kate, don't be. You're the only one for me.
In that moment, all my doubts melted away like snow in the Sunday. I trust you, but let's be real. Girls' intuition is rarely wrong. Kate wasn't even trying to be subtle. She was throwing herself at Jinu every chance she got.
Jinu, can I buy you a drink?
But your girl wasn't about to let that slide. Sorry, Jinu has a shoot right after the party, so no alcohol for him. I can drink for him though. Cheers. Jinu and I couldn't stop laughing as she stormed off like a diva. However, Kate still tries to approach Jinu.
Jinu, the next scene is a kissing scene. I've never done one before, so I think we should practice. What do you think?
Oh, totally. Let's do it.
But we always stayed one step ahead of her.
Oops, forgot to mention I just had onion soup. Hope you're cool with that.
I had to bite my lip to keep from laughing out loud. After getting blocked so many times, Kate's patience snapped.
Who do you think you are, always putting in? You're just his manager.
If only she knew, but obviously I couldn't spill the tea. As his manager, it's my job to make sure he's comfortable right now. I don't think he's loving this, the constant interruptions.
You.
I left Kate fuming behind me, her entitled, bratty behavior getting under my skin.
Who's got my girlfriend all fired up this time?
Startled, I turned to see him lounging on the sofa, a soft grin on his face. Who else could it be?
The movie's almost wrapped up. Don't let her get to you.
He reached over, gently ruffling my hair before leaning in to kiss me. Just like that, my anger melted away. The next day, I was busy organizing Jinu's schedule when Kate strutted over.
A love story between a superstar and his manager. Sounds like something straight out of a cheesy romance novel, doesn't it?
Before I could respond, she shoved her phone in my face. On the screen was a photo of Jinu and me kissing the night before. What do you want?
Simple. Break up with Jinu.
Who do you think you are to tell us what to do? Remember, you're just his ex and a colleague. Nothing more, nothing less.
We were together for 3 years. Do you even know how heartbroken he was when we split? You really think you can replace me? Never.
But now, I'm the one he loves.
If you don't end things with him, I'll make sure his career crashes and burns. Don't test me. I can do far more than you think.
Her words hit like a slap, brazen and ruthless. I was about to fire back when Jinu walked in.
No matter what you do, we're not breaking up.
He grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the room. As we walked, he tried to reassure me, his words full of warmth. I nodded, but deep down, her words planted a seed of worry I couldn't shake. When the film finally aired, it became a massive hit. Jinu skyrocketed to fame. landing major endorsements and becoming the youngest nominee for Best Actor. While I was thrilled for him, my dad's business troubles were draining me emotionally. Still, hearing Jinu's nomination lifted my spirits. On awards night, but when he took to the stage, the thank you, Kate from his mouth felt like a punch to the gut. It was like someone dumped a bucket of ice water over me. After the ceremony, I sought him out to demand answers, but froze when I saw Kate clinging to his arm, acting like they were back together. Don't you have anything to explain to me?
I'm doing what's best for my career. Going public would only hurt me. If you can't accept that, maybe we should end this.
If he had been clear with me, I could have agreed to keep things private, but instead, Jinu chose to break up with me, leaving me deeply disappointed. You've let me down, Jinu. Fine, let's break up. And just like that, everything fell apart. Over fame and ambition, I quit my job the next day and cut ties with them. Soon after, Jinu and Kate became the media's favorite power couple. They attended events together. Even though they never confirmed their relationship, everyone assumed they were back on. 2 months later, the pain lingered. Seeing their pictures still stirred a dull ache in my chest.
Hey, what's got you zoning out like that?
Long. It was time to teach Kate a lesson she'd never forget. Mira and Kate were both set to appear on a survival-themed reality show in the forest. Mira and I schemed together, making sure the producers were on board. The director loved Mira's idea of adding a dramatic twist to spice things up to keep the scene authentic, though everything was kept secret. One night, as planned, Mira lured Kate deeper into the woods and then disappeared, leaving her all alone. Kate had no idea hidden cameras were still rolling. As expected, the moment Kate realized she was alone, panic set in.
Mira, where are you? Stop messing around.
Her only reply was the eerie sound of the wind. It was my cue. I stepped out of the shadows. Kate fell right into the trap. She was absolutely losing it, convinced she'd come face to face with a real ghost. Panicked and trembling, she kept pleading with me for mercy.
People as cruel as you must come with me.
I'm not cruel. Please spare me.
Clearly, she wasn't ready to admit anything yet. I stepped closer.
I stole Amira's role.
What else? Be honest.
I sabotaged Jinu's relationship with his girlfriend. I treated my staff horribly too. I know I was wrong. I'll fix everything. Please don't hurt me.
Gotcha. Caught you red-handed.
The camera crew followed close behind. Stepping into view, I threw off the cloak, revealing myself. Kate's face turned beet red, her expression a mix of anger and humiliation.
You, how dare you pull this stunt?
She lunged at me, but Mira intercepted, holding up her phone with a sly grin.
Keep throwing your tantrum. Over 10,000 people are watching you live. Oh wait, make that 10,200.
The live stream went viral, and Kate's career plummeted overnight. No brands or productions wanted to associate with her anymore. Jinu eventually reached out to me, asking me to meet. I agreed it was time to clear the air. Why didn't you just tell me everything?
I didn't want to drag you into my mess. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused. Can you forgive me?
Instead of answering, I tiptoed up and kissed him softly. Some things didn't need words, they just needed understanding. Love needs trust and sincerity. Ambition and deceit only lead to failure. Be kind, stay true. In the end, truth and genuine love will always prevail. Hey, I'm Iris from Atlanta and I'm a triplet. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. While Mom was pregnant, she was told by the doctor that she was having twins, but I popped out right after my brother, making 3 of us, Ileana, Isaac, and me. Dad wasn't around for most of our childhood. He was the assistant vice president at a huge music production company and was always busy with some meeting or event. But Mom showered us with love and attention. She would sing upbeat songs in the morning and hump soothing lullabies each night. Plus, she bought us whatever we wanted with Dad's money. One of my earliest memories was when she gifted us with a karaoke machine as kids. The 3 of us sang all the time, and Mom never got annoyed.
Encore, encore.
Sometimes she would join in too. She had a great voice. By 8, my siblings and I were called the Turner Threes, and we had some serious musical talents. Ileana could sing just like Mom. Isaac played great riffs on the guitar, and I rocked out on the drums. One day today, the live band that was hired to play at our parents' anniversary party canceled at the last minute. Mom suggested we play, and we did. It was awesome. Soon the Turner Threes were playing at all the family events. Things stayed pretty entertaining throughout middle school, but then life took an unexpected turn during our freshman year of high school. One day, Ileana, Isaac, and I were relaxing by the pool when we heard a loud bud inside the house. We found Mom unconscious on the floor. It turned out that she had a stroke and would need at least 3 months to recover. Then Dad lost his job. Shortly after, the company he worked for lost a massive copyright infringement lawsuit. Dad needed to find work soon to pay for Mom's medical bills and keep the roof over our heads. He took up the first job he could find, freelancing as an agent for local musicians. One evening, Dad invited a client over for a business meeting who overheard the 3 of us practicing our music. I heard him ask Dad about the music coming from down the hall.
My kids have a band thing just for family events.
The client requested to hear more of our songs and suggested Dad help us book bigger shows.
They're pretty good. If you set up their career now, they'll have some real financial independence in the future.
For the first time, Dad took interest in our music and took his clients' advice, and soon we were playing at cafes, restaurants, and private events. We weren't making much, but it was a start. Dad didn't have the same positive attitude, though, especially as Mom's recovery was taking a while. The bills were never ending and his savings were running low. He was always in a sour mood and fell into a deep depression. But despite her health issues, Mom kept cheering us on.
Keep playing, keep sharing your talent. So we stayed consistent. Thankfully, by our junior year of high school, the Turner Threes got more popular.
We had enough gigs to keep the house and help Mom medically. But Dad was so depressed that he stopped work altogether. He barely left his man cave. Halfway through the school year, extracurricular activities began taking up a lot of time. Ileana excelled in her studies and joined the AP Physics Club to get a head start on college credit. Isaac was naturally gifted at basketball and became co-captain, and I was one of the best actresses in the theater class. It was getting harder trying to balance school shows and home finances, and it seems like the Turner Threes differences were splitting us apart.
I think you should sing at a higher pitch.
Basketball puns. Seriously, I don't need advice from you. This band would be nothing without me.
You're not that special, Ileana.
I have Mama's voice. What do you have? The arguments were getting ridiculous.
Then one day we got invited to a music competition. First place would get $10,000. I was over the moon. But Ileana,
I have a test to study for, and I can't afford to mess up my 4.0 streak for some songs.
Some songs. Our music has been keeping the bills paid. But Ileana was adamant. Isaac and I went to the competition anyway and tried to make do with what we had. We were practicing in our room backstage and trying to sing together, but we just couldn't hit the right key. Just then, we heard a voice behind us.
I could sing if you want.
And you are?
Zara.
Zara was apparently the only child of the venue owner.
I never get to perform, but it sounds like you two could use some extra help.
You can't just barge in here and join our band.
Maybe she can help Isaac. Why don't you sing something for us, Zara? Zara opened her mouth to sing, and the voice that came out was horrible.
Is this girl serious?
I couldn't believe such a hideous voice came from such a gorgeous girl. Let's just say nails on a chalkboard sound better. We're on in 10 minutes and this is what we've got. I need some air. Frantic. I left the room. The view from the balcony was relaxing. I remembered the melody Mom hummed to us as kids and started to sing along to it to calm down faster.
Your voice is good.
I turned around and saw Zara walking toward me.
You know, you could just sing and this entire problem could be fixed, right? And you don't need to sing with Isaac. He's holding you back and I could play a simple beat on the drums. I promise.
And better at drums than singing. I mean, I had trouble trusting her after her horrible audition, but maybe it was the only option we had right now. So we decided to follow Zara's plan. I stayed on the guitar, Zara got on the drums, which she was surprisingly not bad at, and I stepped up in front of the mic. To our surprise, the crowd loved our performance. We thought second place with a cash reward of $5,000, which was great, and we were invited back in 3 months for the next showcase. Later, on my way to our backstage room, I found Ileana waiting in the hall. I was so mad to see her there. You're bold to show up here, considering you were willing to let us fail. We're the Turner Twos now, Ileana. I wanted to make her feel bad, but what she said shocked me.
Good, you've got that sorted out because I'm leaving the band permanently.
What? She explained she wanted to dedicate herself to her studies and the band was taking too much of her time. This pays the bills. What about Mom?
A real job with a real degree also pays the bills. I need to focus on college so I can have a better future and also take care of our parents. Both Mom and Dad didn't graduate from college and look where they are now.
That's not fair, Ileana. Mom is sick. Education won't stop you from getting sick. Plus, Dad had a good job. Life happens.
Well, I'd rather have my education to fall back on when accidents happen. Plus, education will give me the job I need to pay for medical expenses if I get sick.
And with that, she stormed out. At the music showcase after party, I found myself sitting alone outside. I hadn't even broken the bad news to Isaac yet. Soon after, Zara joined me asking why I looked so worried. And I ended up spilling everything about our family problems and Ileana's selfishness.
Sorry you're going through all that. Why don't you take your mind off of it for a bit and enjoy your win for a few hours?
So we went back inside and I was glad for the distraction. There were CEOs, music producers, and of course, super attractive celebrities. One woman came up to me and introduced herself as Reza, and then she pulled out a contact card and shoved it into my hand.
You've got some raw talent the world needs to see.
It sounds like something my mom would say.
Your mum sounds like a smart woman.
Since there was no changing Ileana's mind, we recruited Zara as a permanent member of our band. With practice, she got better on the drums, and we quickly fell into sync. We continued participating in petitions Reza signed us up for and making money, and Zara and I grew super close. We painted each other's makeup.
I love this color.
Shared clothes. Wow, do you only wear turtlenecks? Did each other's hair.
A high puff looks so good on you.
And I love the middle part on you. Plus, Zara and Mom hit it off. She even met Dad one time and didn't judge how scruffy he looked directed. But Ileana didn't like her at all. Anytime she saw Zara, she would glare at her from across the room and then go off in the opposite direction. I'd become so annoyed with Ileana that I tried to get Zara to help me prank her. I typed up a fake acceptance letter to a prestigious university and slipped it under her door. Zara didn't approve, but I did it anyway. Ileana was so excited when she saw the letter. It was comical. When I told her it was fake, her happy bubble popped. Honestly, it felt good seeing her get humbled. But Zara was clearly disappointed in me. We were hanging in the kitchen before practice one night when Ileana walked in.
Hey, how was it at the library?
But Ileana just made her way to her room without even acknowledging Zara, and she kept behaving like that all the time. One day, Zara and I were keeping Mom company at the hospital for her checkup when Ileana randomly showed up.
Oh, I didn't expect to see her here.
Hey, Ileana.
Of course, Ileana pushed past Zara and went straight to Mom. It made things so awkward, even the nurse looked uncomfortable.
Mom, how are you doing?
Honey, I think Zara said hi to you.
Ileana looked Zara up and down, rolled her eyes, and continued talking to Mom. I was so fed up with her I couldn't take it anymore. What is wrong with you? Zara has held his family stay afloat by joining the band, and that's how you treat her. I was so angry I could feel my face burning.
Calm down, Iris.
Yeah, Iris, this isn't the time or place.
Let's get some air.
What is this turtleneck-wearing weirdo even doing here? And I don't owe her anything. She didn't join the band to help her family. She just did it because she was some friendless loser.
I lunged at Ileana, but the nurses came between us. Zara grabbed me by my arm quickly and dragged me out of the room.
always worth it.
A few weeks passed, and Mom was recovering well at home. I also asked Reza to help find Dad a job, and she actually got him an interview. Thanks for looking up. But even though I made an effort to stop arguing with Ileana, we still weren't talking. One evening, Zara, Isaac, and I were heading to a gig. When Ileana got home, she walked past us silently. But I told Zara and Isaac to go sit in the car, and I followed her. Wait, can we talk, please? Like normal people? I miss you. Ileana turned around. Tears were streaming down her face.
I miss you too, Iris.
If singing isn't your passion anymore, it's totally okay. It was wrong of me to be mad at you for that, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I was overwhelmed with school, and then I got really jealous of Zara. Yeah, I don't want to do music anymore, but I felt like I got replaced really quickly.
You're my sister. No one can come in the middle of that. Now, how about you drop studying for one night and come see us perform?
I'd love that.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Giselle. Don't forget to like and subscribe and rock on.
My baby sister Elora and I were raised by our single mother who got sick and went into a coma when I was 12 and Elora was 8. Our lives flipped upside down. Even more so when we found out we'd have to live with our Aunt Mona. She was Mom's careless older sister whom she didn't like, and we never even met her. But she was our only relative, so it was probably a better deal than foster care. Aunt Mona was a free-spirited, adventurous young woman who was backpacking solo around the world when we interrupted her life. In a blink of an eye, she went from one of the youngest people to have ever climbed Mount Everest to a single mom of 2 girls she didn't give birth to. And she didn't have a clue about how to take care of children. Like knowing that kids run away when you aren't paying attention. Yeah, she once lost Elora at the mall and found her hours later. And they were both traumatized by that incident. But sometimes it also made her the coolest guardian any kid could ask for. She didn't force us to eat broccoli, she allowed candy before dinner, and we stayed up as late as we wanted binge-watching TV. My sister Elora would sometimes use that to her advantage. Despite being an overall easygoing kid, and as the younger one, she required more care from Mona, who would try to force that responsibility on me.
I don't know what to do. Giselle, help me out here. I've never had to deal with children before you guys came along.
No, Mona. She obviously cannot adopt this wild snake as a pet.
I don't want her to resent me for refusing her that. Can you please tell her yourself?
In these situations, I always ended up being the party pooper. While those two got closer, Mona remained an irresponsible adult, spoiling my sister. And Elora definitely preferred her cool aunt over her protective older sister. On top of everything else, Elora was an A-grade student, so Mona was always proud of her.
Maybe you should be more like Elora, because if you keep up with those grades, you won't be able to get into college.
Who said I want to go to college? I want to be a guitarist in a metal band.
Well, you have to graduate from college first, then do whatever you want. Your mom wouldn't have wanted any other way. Also, this is just a phase.
It's not a phase, Mona. It's who I am. And don't bring my mom into this. She always supported my talents, and she was chill. I'm sure she would support my music too.
I grew up with her, so I know her better than you.
Do you, though? The last time I checked, Mom never lied to you because you always put yourself first. Also, did you ever go to college? Why are you suddenly acting like some responsible adult?
Don't talk back to me like that. I'm the one who takes care of you, so you need to obey me.
I obey no one. Sorry, you're stuck with us. But I'm old enough to know what's best for me. And I definitely don't need you to take care of me.
Our endless ego duel started with that fight and lasted for a long time. If Mona didn't understand how important music was to me, I couldn't be bothered to convince her I was a misfit in school because I dressed like a goth and was into metal music. But I'd formed a band with some kids I'd met in the park, and being with them was the only time I felt I belonged somewhere. School was a waste of time for me. So when Mona dropped us off every morning, I waited for her to go and then went to practice in an abandoned warehouse with my friends. Life was good, and we were even working on our first album. My bandmates and I decided to play at a very famous local metal festival the coming weekend, but of course, Mona had to overreact massively.
What do you mean, a metal festival? That's no place for a child. Are you trying to send me into a coma with my sister?
Chillax, man.
Why are you being so melodramatic? Maybe because she's worried about you and the company you're keeping. Your friends are a bad influence on you.
Shut up, Mini Raccoon! Your nose out of my business! You're just Mona's butt wipe. Despite all her efforts,
Mona couldn't keep me away from the festival. We had practiced so hard, and I wasn't letting this opportunity slide. The festival was massive, and I was loving the energy of the crowd and getting to see the other bands perform. But just before it was our turn, the police crashed the event and dispersed the crowds because apparently the festival didn't have a permit. My bandmates and I ran faster than Roadrunner until we ended up near the town's historical municipal building. As an act of protest against the way the metalheads were treated, we decided to write messages and spray paint all over the building's old walls. Anarchy was in town, and before we knew it, the police caught up to us and took us to the station. The humiliation I felt when Mona arrived to bail me out was unmatched. I just knew that she would use this card against me for the rest of my life.
See? I told you they're a bad influence. You're hardly ever in school because of them.
What? Young lady, your behavior is out of control. It's about time you learn some discipline. No more metal, and you're forbidden from hanging out with those punks.
Forbidden? You can't force me.
Challenge accepted.
She was very serious. She started dropping into school unannounced to check up on me and chat with my teachers. All this time, I'd been skipping school. I was forging her signature for made-up appointments. And now that cat was out of the bag. But even worse, one day when Mona had dropped in, she witnessed a bunch of mean girls bullying me.
Hey freak! I heard that music festival was a flop and you ended up in jail. I'm sure you deserve that. Your music festival is as bad as your taste in clothes.
Yeah, you're practically a crime against fashion, weirdo.
But when it happened in front of Mona, I felt like my ego was crushed. I just knew she'd give me some insensitive lecture that I didn't want to hear right now.
Don't listen to them. Only people who are insecure about themselves feel the need to put others down. You're unique and special. You know what you like and you know how to express yourself. Don't allow their words to hurt you.
I was really surprised, but just acted indifferent. I don't care about them or anyone, but I was really glad that she didn't tell me to change my appearance or even gave me some lecture about not standing up for myself that would just make me feel bad. Since that day, something shifted in our dynamics. I started appreciating her as someone who had always done things her own way and wasn't afraid to be herself. I started wondering why Mom disliked her so much. She wasn't all that bad. So one day, when Mona was at her yoga class, I decided to look through her photo albums to see when exactly they stopped talking. As I was digging through some boxes, I found Mona's old diaries. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help reading them. And I felt like I was getting to know a very relatable and real person with whom I had a lot in common. But then I came upon the entry that made everything clear. Grandpa was a single parent, and he was sick for years when Mona and Mom were teenagers, and their financial situation wasn't the best. So instead of staying with Mom to help her, Mona stole a bunch of Grandma's jewelry and Grandpa's cash, then ran away from home at 18 to go backpacking around the world. Mona's confessions in her diary were her true thoughts. So it wasn't just Mom's opinion of her. She was an irresponsible, selfish older sister who had left Mom to struggle. Mom never had the opportunity to do things she liked because she had responsibilities bigger than her. Ever since she was 15, Mona had stolen Mom's youth. I was so distracted and angry in the following days that I couldn't even focus on band practice, which wasn't good for us because our album was launching soon. We also had a tour planned, and I needed Mona's permission to skip school for 2 weeks and travel around the country. I was already hating that idea, and the conversation didn't go well.
I just want to know where you get your audacity from, Giselle. You get to be your own person, but not before you finish high school. I thought I made that clear. Also, I still don't like your irresponsible bandmates, and I can't let you travel around with them.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, which is important for my future career. And you know what? I can't even take you seriously when I know how irresponsible and selfish you are.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Your lack of responsibility ruined Mom's life. She had to become an adult too soon because her older sister decided to bail on her. And don't try to deny it. I read your own confession in your diary.
You read my diary? This is such an invasion of privacy. I don't want to see your face right now. You're grounded.
Gladly. Plan B it was.
That night, I wrote her a letter and snuck out my window. Not so, dear Mona. When I'm famous and successful, don't come knocking at my door. I want you to remember how terrible you were to me and my mom. Selfish witch. Rock on, Giselle. The adrenaline rush I felt as I left the house in the middle of the night was unmatched. I rushed down our street as fast as I could to my friends who were waiting for me in their van. And so my new life as a rebellious musician began. The next morning, I woke up to 20 missed calls from Mona and 70 voice notes. Alora also left me tons of texts saying Mona was furious and I had to come back home. So I decided to turn off my phone and enjoy the decision I had made. Night after night, we played in different cities across several states and the crowds loved us everywhere. It felt good being cheered by unknown people, meeting potential connections in the music industry, and getting paid. But after 3 weeks on the road with my bandmates, I started noticing how tiring living in a van with them was. They didn't clean up after themselves and often had the pettiest arguments. They also became lazy and stopped taking this tour seriously. We even missed a couple of shows because they didn't feel like it. I missed hot showers and delicious homemade food. I even felt Mona and Alora's absence, but I couldn't bear to hear Mona's "I told you so" and admit she was kind of right about my friends. I knew I would have some big punishment waiting for me back home. One night after our concert, it was raining heavily, so we decided to stay in a hotel to rest and wait for the rain to stop. But we couldn't afford a good hotel, so the 5 of us had to share a shabby room. And being the youngest, they made me sleep on the floor. And the next morning, we realized that our dream tour had turned into a real nightmare. Is that our van floating down the street? It had rained so much that there was flash flooding in town. Unless we managed to get a boat or build an ark, we couldn't get out. The electricity and internet connection was down too. So we were basically stuck with no contact with the outside world. The next few nights, things got worse as we waited for some help to come. Everyone was scared and hungry. And to top that, my bandmates managed to push all my buttons when they suggested we swim for it. They were morons. I spent all my time regretting the way I'd left. I realized that I'd left Alora with our selfish aunt to pursue my dreams. Kind of what Mona had done to Mom. Now, in this grave danger, I wondered if I'd ever get to see my sister again. But the next morning, we woke up to the loud sound of helicopters. We rushed to the rooftop to see the rescue teams had finally reached our area. And just then, I heard a familiar, high-pitched, distinct voice screaming from a megaphone.
That's her over there. That's my niece.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Mona was here to save me. At that moment, I forgot everything else. And when we were rescued, I hugged her as tight as I could.
How did you even find me?
I'd find you even if you were on Mars. Giselle, you're my little girl, and I would never let anything harm you. I was able to track you from your phone's location, and I know people working in some rescue agencies, so I pulled a few strings.
I'm so sorry for how I left things. You were right about my bandmates, and I regret everything I wrote in that letter.
There's nothing to forgive. You know, I came to your room that night to tell you everything, but you'd already run away. I guess you didn't read my diary entries long enough to know how much I regretted my selfish actions. I spent years reaching out to your mom and trying to it up to her, but she refused to forgive me, and now she never will. But I promised that I'd do my best to take care of you girls. I'm sure she'd forgive you if she saw the person you are now. Aunt Mona.
Alora was waiting for us at home, and she was so happy to see me safe and sound. I had betrayed my sister, and she still received me with open arms.
Don't scare me like that again, and don't leave me.
Never, I promise.